Hi everyone. Today we're going to be doing a lesson on rounding, and we're going to be rounding to hundreds or thousands, rounding to 100,000. So we're going to be those are all whole numbers. We're also going to be rounding decimals. Okay, so it doesn't matter if we're going to be rounding a whole number or a decimal. Our steps to success are going to be the same. So I'm going to follow a set of rules every time when I round. So when we're rounding, the question will always be asking us, do we want to round to the nearest 10,000, round to an underlying digit? So we'll always know which number we're trying to round to. So in this example, the 4 here is my underlying digit. So we're going to use this number as an example to go through our steps to success. So I'm going to always look at the number to the right of my underlying digit. So I'm going to look at the 7. If the number to the right of my underlying digit is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, we're going to stay on the floor. If the number to the right of my underlying digit is 5 or above, we're going to go up. So we're going to add 1 to the number. All of the numbers to the left of the underlying digit stay the same. All of the numbers to the right turn into zeros. Okay, so our 7 is greater than 5. It's 5 or above. So notice that my 4 now becomes a 5. So I added 1. All of the numbers to the right become zeros. The numbers to the left, notice, stay exactly the same. Okay? And that's what we're going to do no matter if it's a whole number or if it's a decimal. All right, so let's take a look at this problem right here. I want to know, I'm rounding to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so I basically am asking myself, is 2,681, is that going to be closer to 3,000 or is that going to be closer to 2,000? So I always have an option when I'm rounding, because I want to know estimated which one is it closer to. So following my rules, I have my underlying digit. I'm going to look one spot to the right. My 6 is 5 or above. So I'm going to change my 2 into a 3. All of the numbers to the right become zeros. Okay, let's look at my next one. 7's my underlying digit, so I'm looking at the 8. The 8 is greater than 5, so my 7 is going to become an 8. I rewrite the numbers to the left. Everything else becomes zeros. So 178,365 is closer to 180,000 than it is to 170,000. Ooh, this is a good one. I want to know, I'm rounding to the nearest 1. So the 0 is really my underlying digit. So I'm looking at the 6. 6 is greater than 5. So I'm going to add 1 here. So I'm going to have 1. Everything else becomes zeros. But I know that 1.000 is equivalent to just 1. All right, now here, this is a good review for our place value. I have to know which number is in the thousandths spot. So I know that tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So the 8 is my underlying digit. I'm going to look at the number to the right, 5 or above. I'm going to climb, so I'm going to get bigger. So my 8 becomes a 9. My 5 then becomes a 0. I've made my decimal point too soon. I'm going to rewrite the rest of my number. So I'm going to have to the nearest thousandth is going to be 629 thousandths. Okay, now I'm going to do to the nearest 100,000. So I'm going to have to underline my 6 because that's the 100,000 spot. Look at the number to the right, which is my 5. My 5 is going to bump my 6 up by 1. So I'm going to write my 7. Rewrite everything to the left. Everything else becomes zeros. Okay, so this is the process we're going to go through for rounding. We just did all of those together, and now you are going to try these four by yourself. So go ahead and hit pause, and I'll come back and tell you the right answers. All right, let's see how we did here. Rounding to the nearest 100,000. My 3 tells my 5 to stay the same. I'm going to rewrite everything to the left, and then everything else becomes zeros. My 9 tells my 8 to go up 1, rewrite everything else to the left, to the right becomes zeros. So 33,689 is closer to 33,690. All right, now let's look at our tenths. So again, I have to know which place value is at the 10th spot. I know that my 6 is in the tenths. So my 2 tells my 6 to stay the same. So it's just going to be 6/10. Hundredths place value is my 2. So my 8 tells my 2 to bump up. And with decimals, we don't really, it's up to you. You can write zeros, but I know that these two things are equivalent. All right, so this is the end of our lesson for rounding. And again, rounding makes will make problems really easy for us to do mental math. So when we're at the store and we just want to make a quick guesstimate on how much something is going to cost, we're going to round numbers so that we can have approximate estimate. So we will do some bell work on this tomorrow, and until then, we'll see you later.